What's up, Starcraft fans? Today we're doing the tier list for Urban Warfare on Rifts to Core Hall. Brian, let's hear the mutation.
Rifts to Core Hall is the map where we have to destroy 10 void shards before timer runs out. Each set of void shards we destroy adds time and reveals the next set. Widow mines and spider mines are pre-placed on the map. They deal 250 splash damage, but you can shoot them down. Enemy units are cloaked, and enemy buildings shoot back.
Okay, so we have Twotuuu and Zero in the call with us today. How are you guys?
Alright.
Awesome.
Doing fine.
Awesome. I'm doing fine myself. Thanks. So, how will we rank the commanders this week?
Well, it's basically dealing with the mines. Most likely, most of the time you'll be dealing with the Minesweeper mines. And then most likely you'll be using some form of shard sniping so that you don't have to go through the middle. And yeah, so can you kill the objectives without losing a lot of stuff to mines? Basically, long-range air units.
How about you, Zero?
So it's Rifts to Core Hall, so the first wave is also a somewhat impactful factor, because not all commanders deal with it as easily as others.
That's true. Okay, let's begin. Abathur, what do we have?
Abathur, he can deal with the first wave pretty easily, so that's fine. Just put Toxic Nest at the ramp, and the enemies will walk onto them, most likely. For later on, you're gonna be pushing most likely with Swarm Hosts, because Brutalists are bad versus regular mines, or Minesweeper mines. He's not good against those. So it's gonna be pretty slow pushing, and you can deep tunnel to the back, I guess, but then without an Overseer, deep tunneling to the back doesn't really do anything, so you probably have to just push very slowly from the front. Unless someone else provides detection for you.
Makes sense.
And then once you clear the mines, it's actually, like, the middle part is just, like, nothing. Photon Overload is not really a factor for Swarm Hosts. I put him in B.
Okay. How about you, Zero?
Yeah, I think he's arguably the best commander for dealing with the first wave, which is a big bonus. And I think Swarm Hosts just kind of push through the mission without much issue. Like, I don't think I'd even make a Brutalist here. Just go for like the double Biomass Mastery and then just pure Swarm Host.
So letter.
Keeping the Overseer alive. Oh yeah, B.
B. Okay, both of you guys put in B, so let's put in B. Prestige-wise, which one do we want? 2?
2.
Okay, so let's just get this out of the way. I'll inevitably get a question about Ravagers anyway and Corrosive Biles. Do we want that here?
No.
No.
There you
Because they're mines.
You heard it here, folks. You heard it here first, folks. Okay, let's move on. Alarak, where do we have him?
Alarak, so his units have very long range, so mines aren't really a threat. His detection is also cloaked, which means it can get forward without getting blasted by mines that easily. As for the first wave, I believe he can get a Havoc out in time, and he has overcharge, so he deals with that pretty well also. He doesn't snipe very well, but I think he also just brute forces his way through the mission just like Abathur, but slightly faster, I think. So I have him in A tier.
How about you, Twotuuu?
For the first wave, I probably think you can just your build order is gonna be slightly different. You just make a cannon and then overcharge it.
Just cannon.
And then just make a cannon because it's guaranteed to detect and you can overcharge it so it won't die. And the enemies aren't stronger either, so just that will be fine. So if you're using the mothership to snipe the shards, there might be mines near there, and that's kind of dangerous. If you try to push through the center, it's probably more dangerous than Abathur's, but around the same. It's basically a similar issue where you probably have to push up the ramp through the middle. If you use Wrathwalkers, sure, you have to have good Alarak control and Havoc control, because if you're not careful, your Havoc runs forward, gets killed by mine or by some enemy that can see it. And because if you have nothing else near the Havocs, then they'll hit the Havoc, the enemies with range. And
Alarak eats it.
also, or what happens is if you like bring a supplicant or something, and then a mine hits Alarak, and then the splash damage will kill the Havoc or something like that.
Yeah.
So you gotta be really careful. So I also put Alarak in B,
Oh,
similar to Abathur. It's just gotta push through the middle.
okay. Are you convinced, Zero?
Siege were you using? Because I'm thinking of just going P1 here of Walker Ascendant. You stay far enough from the mines that you shouldn't be getting hit.
So when you're far away, it shouldn't be that much of an issue. So is that
Yeah.
good enough for A?
I think so.
Okay. What do you think, Twotuuu? Are you okay with A?
It's a lot riskier than Abathur's plan, and it's like because by the time you get enough stuff for the Wrathwalkers and stuff to not care, it's the same as Abathur's Swarm Host to not care. But before that, he has to care. Like early on, what are you gonna do? You have nothing to clear a mine until you get all the way to Robotech.
Wouldn't the Havoc work with the mothership?
Havoc plus what? Abathur waving arms? Not Abathur.
Abathur
Alarak.
waving arms. his tiny little bug arms waving. Look at me, I'm Abathur. So what do you think, Zero?
I guess B is fine when you compare it to Abathur.
B is
That makes
fine.
sense.
Okay. One more question, Tutu. Would a cannon be enough if you have Reapers or Vikings just flying off to the side rather than going through the ramp?
The Reapers go up they don't go up the middle.
They do. I do remember they just hop up the cliff, or maybe that was Void Launch.
Void Launch they do, but
Void Launch they do.
they
Rifts
go
to
down
they
the
go to the
center.
center. Okay, but
or
Vikings.
Rift of Coral. Vikings, that's the only one that doesn't go up the middle, but they don't do damage to cannons, so
Okay, so that's fine. So B for Alarak. Prestige wise, do we want the third one or do we want the first one, like Zero recommended?
I think either one is fine. Because if you use the mothership to clear, it's also like you have a lot long range, Havoc plus mothership, and then when there are enemies, you gotta slow down. But when there are no enemies, then you just use those two.
Okay, so let's move on. Arcturus, where do we have him?
He the only thing that's threatening is like if there are mines at the ESO area, and you can drop a dude there to check, and if there are mines, you just contaminate a strike that spot or drop at a different spot where there are no mines, and then drop a bunker near it or something like that. And for the objective, you just use ESOs, so S.
Yeah. How about you, Zero?
I agree with us. He holds the first wave very easily, and then the objective is just a joke.
Yes, very much. Let's put him in S. Not a problem at all. Artanis, where do we have? Oh wait, prestige wise, anything works, right? Although you
Anything works.
anything works. Artanis, where do we have him?
Artanis, I have him in B tier. He deals with the first wave okay with his Unbound Fanatics, although it is a bit pricey on energy. His units have very long range, so mines aren't too big of a threat, and he can snipe objectives with his Tempests, just pushing through the base sides.
True. So
Well,
B.
he is very unforgiving, yeah.
Okay, that's fair. How about you, the two?
I put Artanis in A because his Tempests have really long range. So they actually their range is longer than Photon Overload, and you can disintegrate a lot of the buildings. So basically, you're hitting from the side, so you don't have to waste time going through the middle, and you also have solar for several of the objectives. Although I have seen people using the solar for like the 17-minute wave instead of the objective, which makes sense as well because the waves are strong. Once you clear the mines in the center areas, then you can just fight like with cannons plus Unbound Fanatics while all the rest of your
Tempest.
Tempest just kill the objective. You don't really need shield overcharge because you're not really engaging in any fights either, unless you like shield overcharge your cannons plus zealots or something, which also works.
That also works. All right, so
I
letter.
put him in A.
Okay.
I put him in A.
Do you agree, Zero?
It's fine. Tempests are good.
Yeah, tempests are good. I also personally put them in A, even though it's not gonna appear here. So it's unanimous. A for Artanis. There we go. Very rare to see him above Alarak and Abathur. So do we want the third prestige here?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on. Dehaka, where do we have him?
Dehaka has slight issues with the first wave, but you can jump on them. Like if you since you can't eat anything, you would choose roar plus the leap, and then you can see what enemies they are, and then you can jump on them until your first primal worm is ready.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's
Flail
just
around.
primal worms clear. Like one primal worm will just clear an entire mine group, and then once you clear enough mines, then it's creeper hosts.
Yeah.
So aside from the first wave, the rest of the map is just easy. So I put him in A.
Okay.
Okay, so the main problem of the Haka is indeed the surviving the first wave, but once he managed that, he is very easy. So I also gave him A tier.
A tier. Okay. So unanimous A tier. What prestige we recommend? Second one?
2.
Okay, second one.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Unanimous A tier. Phoenix, where do we have him?
Phoenix. So you can't Kaldala snipe because of the mines, which means he has to push through with his RB. So if he uses RB, I wouldn't advise P2, although it can still work. But it's gonna be a slow process because you have to just push it with your robo units. So I give him B tier.
Okay. How about you, Twotuuu?
So I think using P1 with carriers will be better. You just like put like siege observers, or you have an arbiter suit, so you always have detection, and then you can also cloak the arbiter to take out mines so that they don't shoot you. Yeah, I put Phoenix in B tier because it takes a while to get enough carriers, but once you get that, just kill everything.
Okay, so it ends up being a unanimous B either way. I personally did the carrier route. It was fine. It was actually fine. And then with the first prestige, you basically have a Dragoon suit for every attack wave. Also fine. I guess the hardest part is getting to the number of carriers you need. So you need decent macro. And also pretty good defense. And to get the observers behind the second set of shards to snipe them. Phoenix in B tier. Hot and Horner, where do we have him?
Han and Horner, they can use strike fighters to clear groups of mines, or at least the widow mines, and then you have like your cloaked ravens plus cloaked wraiths to clear the rest if they're in the way. And then once you clear all the things at the edge, you just use like wraiths invisible to fly around and take out the slivers or shards. For waves, you can defend at home, or you have a bunch of mag mines.
Yeah.
And your call in the fleet is actually stronger. You can probably kill a shard or get it down almost dead. So I put Han Horner in B.
Okay. How about you, Zero?
I have her in C, mostly because I don't think she's as good at doing those things as like the other B commanders. Although what Twotuuu said is pretty much how they're played. I think it's a lot harder than the B commanders.
Have you guys considered just using the airstrikes and top bars to snipe the objectives?
The thing with that is, as I assume you mean with P3, which even with
No, the first
outmutators,
the first one works. The first prestige works
does it?
with that.
I mean,
yes, it
I
does.
believe it's already close, and then some of the strike fighters will be getting shot down by mines, I believe.
Not fast enough.
I guess so.
Well, I guess if it's Terran, they might. Like the bunkers might.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I haven't tried it, but I guess it could work.
It does. It does work.
It does work. Well, I don't know if the mines matter, but
Well, the bunkers, yes. Basically, what you're worried about is hit scan, not the mines. No, they'll never have enough time to shoot. Or if they do, it's at the end when the airstrike guy is decelerating. So it means it's going on cooldown anyway. Is it B or C?
I'm fine with either.
Okay. By the way, in case you're interested, in my opinion, airstrike, I think she's A, but I think they're A. But
Hey,
my opinion doesn't matter.
okay,
My opinion
let's
doesn't
go
matter
B
here.
then.
B is fine. Okay, Karax, where do we have him?
So, Karax has a very easy time defending the first wave by either making a cannon or just top barring it. For the offense, he makes an observer and then just solid lances the shards and some orbitals in there. He can also defend the waves with his top bar, the purifier beam, and then he just has all the money in the world to do whatever. So I have him in S.
How about you, Twotuuu?
I put him in A, but I don't think there's no reason why he can't be S, because first wave easy, and then I would use the purifier beams to clear mines so that my mirages can just sit by the shards and hit them, because the shards don't hit air units, so you just kind of sit there, and all the enemies around them are dead. So it's like you get free shots. You just need a few. I think if you only use top bar, you're gonna run out of energy. So uh, yeah, especially if you also use them on attack waves, and you might need top bar solar lance on the attack waves. So yeah, but I think S is fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's put him in S. Prestige, does it matter?
B.
Or do you want the third one? Okay,
Yeah.
third one.
He is by far the best.
By far the best. Okay, let's put Karax in S. Kerrigan, where do we have him?
Kerrigan is notorious for having a hard time against the first wave. Like she's very bad against the first wave, because like even if you get detection, the units you can build might not be able to survive the damage that they do. And then the good thing is, once you get to 10 minutes, the game is over. So, well, the mines are all gone, so you get to kill them for free.
Essentially.
And then all the enemies that are near near them will also die. And then you just like use brute lords to take out the buildings, or just Lings or herself. You do whatever you want.
Yeah, it should be fine.
So I put her in A, but then because of the first wave, I don't have a problem with her being in B.
Okay, solid. How about you, Zero?
I have her in B literally just because of the first wave.
So that's kind of unanimous.
Yes.
She's A otherwise, but the first wave she really sucks against the first wave, so that puts her in B. All right. Prestige wise, you want the no prestige or the third one?
I think no prestige is better, because
Better than
you
the
can
third
jump. You can jump from the ESO island to the third area and then immobilization wave.
Okay. You don't want the second prestige here because you need the immobilization wave to actually destroy the mines. If you have second prestige, mobilization wave is not strong enough to destroy the mines. Let's move on. Nova, where do we have him?
So sneak around and sabotage drones the bases, which makes the objectives really simple. While she's super close, she also doesn't care about any of the mutators, so that's a plus. She somewhat struggles with the first wave, at least more than like some other top tier commanders, but with enough sabotage drones, she can deal with it with marines, and I think you can afford a turret in time, so I have her in S.
Okay. How about you, Twotuuu?
I don't remember how I did this. I know I did this, but I know that you can simply just use the hero units to clear all the mines, everything that's dangerous, and then liberators will just finish off the
shards.
the rest of the objective. So S.
Okay, so it's a unanimous S. You can go the third prestige route, or you can just go the liberators route. Either should be fine. So let's put her in S. Raynor, where do we have him?
Raynor, he has to sacrifice econ to C. So that's really bad. He's also pretty bad against mines. Like your only real option is to use Duskwings, and like early on you have Duskwings. Otherwise you have nothing else. So later on, as you get to the late game, you have like with P3 you have reduced cooldowns or cooldown times for your cooldowns, and you could clear more, but you still need a lot of minerals, or you're losing a lot of minerals. You need a lot of CCs, and you have to deal with the attack waves somehow. So if you don't time your cooldowns well, that you're either going to be wasting them or you're going to be burning them too soon, and you won't have anything for the waves. So that's not good. I put Raynor in C.
All right. How about you, Zero?
Him in D for mostly the similar reasons. He just sacrifices a lot of his economy to survive the first wave, but then he also needs a lot of that economy to keep up the orbital spam because he has to scan for every single enemy.
Yes. Yes, it's very annoying. So, what do you think, Twotuuu? Is D okay for you?
I'm fine with that. I don't think he's that. I think he's suffering. Just
Yeah, suffering. I don't know if there's anyone in C, but since we're all okay with D, let's put him in D. Stet Boy, where do we have him?
And he has this funny unit called a Zergling. That thing can tank 4 mines at least. So as for the first wave, he can somewhat struggle if you get like a really bad comp, but even then, because his Zerglings recycle themselves and you can get detection in time, he shouldn't struggle that bad. And after you survive the first wave, you have Super Gary, who just clears the entire map by himself, and then you have Lynx to slap the buildings. So I have him in S.
Okay. How about you, Twotuuu?
I put him in A. Just because of the first wave. So the first wave, I don't think he has a problem with the first wave, but you do need to get. You probably need banelings plus a detector. So if someone covers the detector part, then you can just use banelings. And then if you have to do it by yourself, though, it's gonna be harder. And then once he's out, it's really easy though.
Yes.
So I guess I'm not sure how good banelings will be when there's invisible units as well. I mean, when you need a detector as well, though.
Yeah.
I put him in A.
That's a lot of gas.
I'm not. I guess it's similar to Nova, huh?
You
Nova,
don't need
once she's
banelings.
out, she does everything.
Oh, is that Zero?
You don't need banelings. Zerglings hold fine most waves.
Well, it depends how many Zerglings.
You can get a lot in time.
Like, how many is a lot?
I don't know, like 16?
16?
Get that.
How much econ are you cutting to get 16 blings?
Pretty much all of it.
You should be able to do that while keeping like 14, 16 workers on minerals.
No gas?
No, of course you need gas, but Stetmann drones harvest really fast, and the buildings build very fast also, so you can stay on the economy for a bit longer.
Huh.
Because
usual.
usually by like 220 with waves, I only have like 18 lings. So I don't. Well, I guess that's 16. That is 18, huh? More than 60. But oh yeah, no. It's like half of them are not built yet. They're like on the way.
It's still in production.
Yeah, but like that's for rifts. This wave arrives later.
A little,
So
I
it
guess.
should be out in time.
Is he fighting against vultures?
I think so.
The spider mines.
I mean, if it's vultures, you can also just spam a lot of evolution chambers.
How do you know though? Do you sacrifice a unit to tell it's vultures? If when you scout you see it's Terran, do you send like I don't know an overlord to see what the enemy is, or do you send a drone?
You can send
or
a drone.
Satellite maybe.
I don't see much of a problem with that.
Wouldn't that
Um,
sacrifice even more economy than you already are doing?
I mean, remember, all you have to do is survive the first wave, because everything else is completely free for him. So even if you cut into your economy slightly, you're still more
Ah,
than fine.
Okay.
there's one more. There's one more thing about Stetmann is that with with Photon Overload, it's spreading Stellalites is really annoying. That's something to remember. It's not it's not hard. It's just like if you don't remember it, every time you try to spread, the shot will just shoot it down. Like they seem to like to target it.
Yikes. Okay, so hmm. So how this works is if it's not unanimous, it's not S. So if Twotuu's not convinced, then it's not really gonna be S. So Zero, are you gonna mount another defense for S?
Oh, no, I think I said everything that has to be said.
Okay. Are you convinced, Twotuu?
He's S.
Yeah.
I because like for the difference between him and Nova is that Nova it's stress free after she's out, whereas Stetmann is mostly stress free, but you still have to do stuff. Like you still have to work. So that's why I
Okay. That's not convinced for me. So Stetboy ends up being an A. For what it's worth, I personally have Stetboy in S, but uh, you know, not unanimous, therefore not S. Let's move on. Oh wait, prestige wise, of course you want the second prestige. That's why
Yes.
Super Gary's super strong. Let's move on. Stukov, where do we have him?
Stukov sucks against mines. So P3 is not good against mines. I mean, it's you can, but it's not good. It's P1 is actually better because you have tanks throwing your the volatile infested at them is more effective than actually like slowly pushing with P3. And even so, it's really slow. You probably have to go through the middle. So just like the other guys who have to go through the middle, he's in B.
Okay, how about you, Zero?
I agree with B, but I also think P3 works. He's just a slightly worse Abathur. You have to babysit your overseers, but the infested will get through the mines in time.
Overseers, why not just use queens?
Well, I mean, they could work, but like they're more expensive than overseers.
I
You need
guess.
And
overseers at some point, like
yeah, and
earlier on.
I
you're not
guess.
really throwing symbiotes at the infested either, because they're just gonna die. So might as well get overseers.
All right. It's just I have some experience with overseers, but that's a fair point. Okay, so both of you agree with B?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
let's put him in B. You can use first prestige or third prestige depending on what you prefer. Let's move on. Swann, where do we have him?
Swann is not very good. He struggles with detection a lot, because science vessels are very expensive. So I think his best bet is to just push with tanks and science vessels, maybe add some Goliaths if you need anti-air, which of course is fairly difficult to do for many people. So I have him in C.
Interesting. How about you, Tutu?
I put him in A because his two top bars clear all the relevant mines, and then wraiths will just because you after you use your top bars, you know that the area is gone. Like for the close areas, you have to use stupid science vessels, but then after that, you basically you don't use your top bars on the enemies because they're not stronger. So you just use them on like areas near the shards, and then you like even if you don't know if there are mines or not, if you use like two concentrated beams, there for sure there are no mines there, and then you can have like your science vessels hovering around the edges, so you don't have to push through the middle. And his defense is really strong. He can take on the first wave easily, and yeah, so I put him in A.
What do you think, Zero?
I mean, I don't know. I don't trust the top bar route for clearing mines. Like, I feel like there would definitely be mines left if you miss like a little part, and he can't really tank them.
can see the point.
Like,
There's a point
especially
there.
compared to the other A commanders. They're like Artanis. He has very long range, so even if there are bites, he just outranges them, and the other two don't care. Like Swann is far less forgiving in terms of that.
I
What
was
it?
I
Yeah.
was thinking more like for Swann with the top bars, you're not fighting any enemies. So for if anything, you have like 2 vessels to fly in. You're not fighting anything. You're just gonna fly in. You're gonna use 2 vessels to clear whatever's left that hasn't been killed by your top bars. You sacrifice like a Herc, you pulse cannon, and then everything's dead in that area, except maybe like the hybrid, which can't hit you. And then uh, and then your concentrated beams, just every top bar is used to clear something near the shards, near one of the shards, or even the last area. And eventually you're gonna have enough shots to kill most of the relevant areas. You don't have to clear like the center because you're gonna attack from the sides, just like other air units do.
Does spawn location matter for Swann? If you're player 2, do the same targeting still work for your concentrated beams?
You're not like specifically looking at a point on the terrain to find a spot. You just teleport a Herc and then you shoot at it.
A pulse cannon?
Pulse cannon or a pulse cannon.
A pulse cannon or a pulse cannon. Makes perfect sense. How do you fight the second set of shards?
You concentrated beam the spot where they no, you pulse cannon the back side and then you fly around the side.
And then you use laser drill to clear, or wraith?
No, wraiths.
Wraiths.
Because
Okay.
once you pulse cannon there's nothing left, and you're not going through the middle. The mines close to your base are annoying, but because there are no other enemies, you can slowly just clear them with 1 vessel while you're waiting for your wraith fleet.
What do you think, Zero?
I don't think he's as bad as I thought initially, but I don't see A either. That sounds really complicated for like the average player.
Normally, I
which
would
the other
say,
A
yeah.
do.
Normally, I would say if it needs a specific order of doing things and a specific knowledge of the map, I would say A star if you want him in A, but it requires specific planning or prior knowledge. Maybe A star would work. Like have an
Maybe.
asterisk. He's A if you know how to do it, but
That's like, if you're gonna A star, then all the Bs can be S stars, right? Because if you know how to do it, then you can just put them in B.
what do you think, Zero?
Oh, I'm fine with B.
Okay. I'm also fine with B because he's Buan. Buan again. Put him in B. Prestige wise, do you want the second prestige here?
No, 0.
No prestige. That's better?
You're making wraiths.
Okay. No prestige it is. Tychus, where do we have him?
Tychus, he has 2 heroes to deal with the first wave. One of them is gonna be Cyrus, who's gonna be your main guy for this mission. His turrets have detection, so you just slowly push with him. You can also throw in an Odin at the 10 minutes. That clears out a big area.
A huge
I
area.
think it's big. Yes, I think it's big enough to clear the bases until the last one. Until then, you just slowly push in with Cyrus. You could maybe try sniping with Sam, but I don't think it's that needed, so I have him in A.
Okay. How about you, Twotuuu?
So he is he just plays, even if you don't have P2, you're pretty much just playing normally. Although without P2, you're gonna go through the middle. So you're probably gonna Odin nuke the middle if you're not using P2, and if you the one where you go up the ramp. And if you are using P2, then you drop him on the in the middle of the third base and then just nuke it, and then Sam can go over there and finish the rest.
Yeah.
Or just leave Tychus to do the rest.
That's also fine.
I put him in A.
Okay. So unanimous A. There it is. I actually personally had Tychus in S, but you know. A is fine. A is not bad. A is really good. Prestige wise, you want the second one?
Yes.
Alright.
Yeah.
Alright. Let's move on. Vorazun, where do we have him?
So I have Vorazun in A tier. Her only issue is issue is taken very. I guess it's saying it harshly because it's not really an issue. It's defending the waves, which because the enemies are unbuffed, it's still very easy for her. The actual objective is very simple thanks to time stop.
Yes.
So yes, that'll be very easy, and all you have to do is just defend the waves until then, which even if it's aired this time, won't be a problem.
Okay.
So A.
Okay. How about you, Twotuuu?
So for the first wave, I suppose you can wall off and just like your ally can still go through from the sides, so it's not a big deal.
Suddenly Vikings.
Yeah, unless it's that, then your dark pylon will get hit. So I'm not sure. I don't remember how I did this. So it's definitely with time stop. I don't remember how the how fast the shadow guards kill, because if you don't kill all the shards in one area, then it's just like
It's brutal.
You're gonna die. Like they're gonna get shot, and then they're all gonna get shot at like the same time. So
Inhumane.
not good. Yeah, it's really inhumane. Oh, I use Void Rays. Why the hell did I use Void Rays? I just
You
checked. I
probably
used Void Rays.
you probably saw what Artanis did and went, I can do that too. And you went Void Race.
5 Stargate Void Rays.
5 Stargate Void Race. Did you get any upgrades at all? Or just Void Race?
Just Void Rays.
Just Void Race. How
Well, of
was
course
it?
you get there. Time stop, Void Rays kill one, and then the Shadow Guards kill. Oh, I had 7 minutes left, so I can just wait for another one. Okay, yeah. I think it's pretty easy. I'll put her. I think she's fine for A. She can easily stop the first wave, so it's like even if you don't kill it, you can just block them off and then deal with it later. And then you can use Void Rays, you can use Dark Templar, whatever you want.
Okay, sounds fine to me. Let's put Vorazun in A tier. She has 1 prestige, Keeper of Shadows. Zagara, where do we have him?
Zagara, she's with P3, she's okay against the like mines that aren't in bases, just like the ones lying in the middle of nowhere. For this map, you can take out the third set pretty easily with just bio launchers and deep tunneling to the back left corner. And then if you're using the bio launchers, you can kill 2 more in the last area. It's now the last 2 are the hard ones. The other 8 are actually really easy. So yeah, but I don't think people know how to do this, so I put her in B.
B tier. Are there mines in the back area of the third set of shards? That snipe area?
It's possible. So if there are, then sorry. But
Sorry.
I mean, she'll die. She'll die, and then you come back in a minute, and you'll know that there's a group there. Then you can kill it with your Baneling Barrage.
Or listen to this. You come back, you dip tunnel there, and the mines have recharged. You die again. That'd be the best scenario. Or you deep tunnel to a slightly different spot, and then there are more mines there. Anyway, how about
Then you go buy a lottery ticket.
Or go to the casino. How about you, Zero?
So yes, she is very bad at pretty much getting the last 2 shards. Even the top left shard can be difficult if there's a lot of mines there, like CTG said. So I don't know. I think I'll give her a C. She's not as bad as Raynor, but she's also miles away from the B tiers.
Okay. C tier. Whew. So what do you think, Twotuuu?
If you're using P1, I would say it's like E. But then with P3, I don't think the back, like having mines in the top left is not a big issue, because even if you die, you just come back later and you know where they are.
You die
And it's
again.
like, You die. You might die twice, but it's like you shouldn't die that many times, right? So, and if you're that unlucky, that's like you weren't meant to win that one. But aside from that, it's the only real issue. Like first wave, she has Banes. They're free, and you just tech to lair quickly, build a spore. No, you don't need to tech, right? You just build a spore. After spawning pool, you just build a spore.
Yeah, spore
so
works.
That's easy. Yeah, so you just have a spore. So the first wave is nothing, no problem whatsoever.
No.
And then her pushing is slow. So like getting through, and the second set of shards is also easy because you attack from the back, and it's the same thing. You can actually check this one first because you can fly an overseer to around the sides, the right side, and then if there are no mines, then you deep tunnel. If there are, then you clear them. Then if there are, then you drop roaches or something, and then you go there and clear the rest.
Just use biologers.
Not on the second set.
Oh, the second set. Yeah, the second set. Yeah. You got to do that. All right.
The third one is for like, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, are you convinced, Zero?
What am I convincing to? Hold on.
V.
B. I don't know. She seems a lot worse than the B tiers. I mean, I don't know. I guess she can go in.
I think the fact that 5 of the shards are killed by bio launchers. So you just point 3 of them at them and then they're gone. Like you just wait and they'll be gone. You don't even have to
Eventually
clear the area enemies around the shard. They're just gonna die.
Yeah.
The B seems fine.
All right. Put Zagara in B. Prestige wise, you want the third one, right? Say the
Third
Yes.
Okay, let's move on. Zeratul, what do we have him?
So Zeratul, he has cannons, and cannons ignore 2 out of 3 of these mutators, and the one they don't ignore is the easiest one. So he can kind of just teleport cannons into the base and then win. So I have him in S.
You forgot the best part. The demote dude demotes mines.
Oh yes, that too.
How about
I'm
you?
not sure if you even want to do that,
Why not? It's fun.
because mines don't hit your cannons, but the stuff they will be demoted to can hit your cannons.
Don't they demote to like drones?
Yes, but
Oh
I think if your HP is low
drones!
enough, they still deal damage to cannons.
My no, not the drones! Not the drones! Anything but the drones! How about you, Twotuuu?
He makes cannons, so yeah. I think you can get a cannon before the first wave, or you get the Telbrus, and I think will they storm? I'm not sure, but you probably want 560. Even you want to have 560 Legion, not 800, because you need a cannon as well. So you want like just to make sure you can survive.
All right, that makes sense. So letter.
Okay, S.
Okay, S tier. All right. So do we have a double S?
No.
No.
Manx is close, but then
I
you
was
still
about
have
to
to
say.
do the checking.
This is his map.
You have to do the checking.
All right.
He's close.
So he's top of S?
Yeah.
All right. Who's second in S?
Nova? Maybe Karax?
Nova, maybe
I think Karax.
I think Karax is better because first wave is just free.
Yeah, it's
free.
free.
All right. And then Nova, then Zeratul? Because Zeratul's afraid of drones.
I think Zeratul might be
I
higher.
think
Oh, no.
Zeratul is less work. You just macro basically, and even occasionally rapid fire cannons in an area, and then everything's gone.
Including your anyway. All right. Zeratul, then Nova. That makes sense. Who's top of A? Statboy? He was an S candidate,
Stetmann.
right? All right.
Stetmann.
Then
Vorazun?
Dehaka? Vorazun also, yeah. Sounds maybe Tychus too. So who's second in S?
I'll put Dehaka bottom,
Dehaka
and
bottom.
then because he has the
Oh yeah,
first
he has to
wave.
flail around in the first wave.
And then Artanis second last, then it's the other two.
Okay. Tychus or Vorazun? I think Tychus.
I think Tychus better.
Yeah, Tychus better. Alright. So moving on. Who's top of B?
Oh, there's so many.
There's so many.
They're all right.
Horner.
Kerrigan? I mean, she is 18 once you get past the first wave.
That
Yeah.
is true. That is true. Kerrigan. Alright.
Yeah.
And who's next?
Abathur for first wave. Oh, I just remember Stukov sucks against the first wave.
Oh yeah, he does.
He just stalls until
So does that put it
hopefully
at a C
he-
tier?
No.
Not that bad.
Not that
It's
bad.
But Abathur, that makes it because Abathur is similar, but Abathur takes care of the first wave easily. So Abathur.
Okay, Abathur. Horner.
I guess Alarak next?
Alarak next. Alright. And then
All right.
Swann?
Yeah, probably Swann.
Alright.
One.
Then
Han Horner?
Han Horner.
Then Phoenix. Phoenix is Stukov, then Zagara.
Stukov. Yeah.
Alright,
Yeah.
so what do we do with Raynor? Do we put him to C tier or do we put him down even lower to E tier? Because he might as well be.
It's not how. I mean, the letters do have a meaning to them, so it's just not for. So it's D for a reason.
It's D for a reason.
He's worse than average.
He's worse than average. That makes sense. Is he not E though? Like I feel like this is one of the retailers that straight up hard counters him, and one of the reasons I believe that Raynor deserves a straight up buff.
It's not that bad.
Not that bad. All right, Raynor stays in B tier or D tier rather. Okay, guys. Oh wait, is there a combination of B commanders or lower, or Raynor, who are better than Nova on her own?
Kerrigan Abathur?
Raynor
maybe?
scans for Zagara so she doesn't die.
Is that better than Nova on her own?
No.
Oh, for Raynor.
He's just a scan bot.
Scan bot. There we go.
You bet your ally's gonna be like, scan please, scan please.
Abathur gets Kerrigan past the early game, and Kerrigan gives Abathur Omega Worms.
He doesn't
And
need
better Swarm hosts
Better sword
with the creep
hosts.
buff.
it. Better swarm hosts, yes. He doesn't need the Omega Worms though.
Would be nice though. Anyway, so anyone? Alright, guys, watch Twotuu's channel. I will link it down below. I'll see you guys next time.